Hey, good morning everyone. My name is Esther. After I finish ALCI program, I plan to study family and marriage therapy. Now I am a student and I am a mother. I deeply aware that parents' marriage is very important for their children. When I think about a stable marriage, it looks like a shape. When children stay here, they will feel safe because they know that no matter they suffer any difficulty, their parents will protect them together. But after parents divorce, children will feel no safe and no hope in their life because they feel into the water. No matter their parents how hard trying to give them more love, more attention, they still think that their parents never give their stable life forever. Now I want to share a video. This video can clearly help us clearly understand what are children's feeling when after their parents divorced.
Dear Mom and Dad, I know that you are hurting. I'm hurting too. I feel and feed off your tension, fear, and shock. Although I am young and cannot express verbally what is happening in our lives, I am still feeling the impact. My heart is broken every time I have to give up a parent. My sense of security is lost. Please don't assume that I am resilient. Please don't assume that my life will be exactly as it was, and that I will continue to feel the same love from both of you. I am a human being just like you. My needs are just like yours. I need love, attention, nurturing, stability, consistency, affection, understanding, patience, and mostly to be wanted.
From this video, we know that after this boy's parents' divorce, he feels sad. He asked her parents give him more attention, more love, more understanding, but his parents can't. This problem is not only this boy's problem. It is a common problem in today. Now I will show how common it is. Look at this picture. These statistics tell in the divorce ratio in 2014. We can see that the top 10 country is the divorce ratio is from 53% to 71%. What does this mean? For example, there are 10 couples here. It almost half couples will divorce. This phenomenon is horrible because many couples have children. Could you imagine that how many children are in the despair? That's why today I want to argue that parents should stay in marriage for their children, because parents' marriage protects children's well-being, impacts children's future marriage, and parents' marriage preserved parent-child relationship. Let's move on the first. Parents' marriage protect children's well-being, especially can provide a stable economic environment. Do you know how much money parents should pay for children's daily life and education from their birth until they grow up? Totally, they should spend $245,000 to host one child. And for middle income family, they should spend almost over $13,000 to host one child. But their annual income is just near $56,000. They spend over 24% of their household income to raise one child for 1 year. After parents divorced, parents destroyed children's stable economic environment. We have to think two challenges. First is less income, and the second is remarriage. After parents divorce, single parents who have responsibility to take care of children, they not only to work out to get money, but also take more time than before to take care of their children. Absolutely, the income is less than before. According to Weber's research, the average annual income of single-parent family is only 37% of married household income. The money is less than before. The second issue is that single parents will remarry. What this means? This means the same income will separate the two parts. One is for private family, one is for new family. Absolutely, the money is less than before. But some people, they think that even though parents divorce, the income is the same as before because they have three sources of income. First is a regular income and a marital property, and the most important is child support. They think child support can support enough money for child and raise child. But I still think after parents divorce, children will lose their stable economic environment. Some people think that regular income, property, and child support can offer children enough money, but these statistics told us this is not true. We can see that just 55% when a single parent family received home money, and over 25% of this family didn't receive money. In addition, just 29% of this family still lived in property. That's why that after parents divorce, children lose their stable economic environment. That's why that parents' marriage protects children's well-being. Now, I want to still talk about why parents' marriage impact children's marriage in future. Usually, when couples suffer problem in their marriage, they will use three ways to solve their problem. They will accept spouse weakness because there is no perfect man in the world, and they will try to make communication with their spouse to talk what their need, to talk what they think. Even though this way is useless, they will to go for counseling to ask some professional to help them to solve their material problem in their marriage. But for some couple whose parents divorced, they are easy to choose divorce to end their unhappy marriage. Why they easy to choose divorce to end their unhappy marriage? Because for these couples whose parents divorced, they think divorce is a reasonable solution to solve all the problem, and is a direct way to end their unhappy marriage. They didn't want to waste a lot of time to solve the problem because they experienced their parents' marriage, experienced their parents to waste a lot of time to fix their marriage, but finally use divorce to end their unhappy marriage. They repeat their parents' marriage pattern. Even though there are a lot of reasons to suppose parents' marriage will influence children's marriage in future, but some people said it's nothing to do with parents. It's due to social circumstance. Because in today, divorce is become common phenomenon. A lot of the divorce is higher than the past, and not only adults but older children, they already accept that divorce is the normal way to solve all the problems in their marriage. Yes, I agree that there are a lot of factors influence couples easy to choose divorce to end their happy marriage. But I still think parents is the most important factor to influence their children, easy to choose divorce to end their unhappy marriage. As we know that if parents divorced, their children have high possible to choose divorce. We'll finger definite this phenomenon is intergenerational transmission of divorce. And we all know that childhood is important for children's life. It's decide children's whole life. If children suffer their parents' unlucky marriage, experience their children divorce, they will influence children's marriage concept forever. That's why I think that parents' marriage impact children's marriage in future. Now let's moving on. Why parents' marriage can preserve parent-child relationship. Dr. Maslow said that humans have 5 different levels of needs. Material and psychological is the lowest need, and a sense of security is the basic need and an important requirement for humans, and also is important for children. Parents can suppose a sense of security for their children. But after parents divorce, parents destroy the children's sense of security. Because after parents divorce, they have to change their life circumstance. They will move new house. They will move new city. Children have to make a new relationship with strangers and make a new relationship with their new friend. It's hard for children. In addition, most parents have unstable emotion for a long time. This unstable emotion will influence and harm their children for a long time. But some people they think after parents divorce, another people seem like a caregiver still can offer children a sense of security. This caregiver take a long time of these children. They can give the children a sense of security, give children more love, more attention, more stability. These people can be grandparents or step-parents. They take care of children for a long time. They can offer children's needs. But we know that caregiver doesn't equal parents. Children need their parents. Children need their parents take care of them, live with them, love them. And for parents, take care of children, raise children is a responsibility from God. Proverbs 22, verse 6. Train a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not turn from it. It's parents' test. It's parents' responsible. You have to raise children. You have to train children. You have to love children. You have to offer your children's need. We know in every couples have different conflict, have different problems in their marriage. We can't avoid problems. But if in the future you think you despair in your marriage, you want to end your unhappy marriage, you should remember that your marriage is not just relative to you. It's not relative to your couples. Your children is important for you. You should think about your children. How can we avoid divorce? We should move divorce out of your mind. Divorce is not a way to solve your problem in your marriage. Because your marriage is protect children's well-being. It will impact children's future marriage, and parents' marriage preserve parent-child relationship. This is very important for you. Maybe now you are single, But in the future, you will have your husband, have your wife, and you will have your children. Please think about your children when you suffer problem in your marriage. Thank you for your time. Do you have any question?
Okay, I have a question.
Please.
You cited children, but do you think if a couple if they do not have children, then divorce is a more reasonable option?
Thank you for your question. Today, I talk about parents should stay in marriage for children and not talk about couples should stay in marriage. Of course, I think divorce is not a reasonable way to solve their problem, not only for parents but also for couples. Thank you.
I have a question. If one of the couples have the violent tendency or any other dangerous behavior, do you think they should be divorced?
Could you repeat your question?
I mean, if in the couple one person have the violent tendency or any other dangerous behavior, do you think they should be divorced?
Thank you for your question. These issues we have to think about it. Before you decide to marry with your spouse, you have to think they will have some behaviors you don't like. But when you live in your marriage, each problem you should have to solve it, not refute it.
Okay, can I have one more? Don't you think in some circumstances, kind of like what Yuelin said, that if the parents are fighting so much and the household is not peaceful, don't you think for some children it's a little bit more peaceful after mom and dad break up?
Yes, I agree that high conflict marriage will influence and harm children. And we can see that when we face one problem, we have different options. One is solve it, one is refuse it. High conflict marriage will harm children. For parents, you have to think about why you choose argue with your spouse, and why you put your children in the middle of your high conflict marriage. Parents should have a concept that you should and you have to solve your whole problem by yourself, not bring your children in the middle of your unhappy marriage.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know what? We're just gonna keep it going.
Okay, thank you, Esther. Next, we're going to hear from Lorena. I'm so sorry.
That's the
Okay, let's welcome Marina. Good morning to everyone. My name is Lorena Gonzalez. I have a degree in financial management and I worked for the past 3 years in a company that dedicates to commercialize steel products in Mexico. So I was in the administrative area. And because of that, I noticed that there were a lot of differences between the ideas of young generations and older generations. And because of that, it got me interested to research more about this topic. And that's why today I'm going to talk about millennials in the workforce. Can you please help me raising your hand if you were born between 1980s and 2000? Okay. Everyone who has their okay. If you raise your hand, that means that you are a millennial. But if you didn't raise your hand, this topic also matters to you because you will be working with millennials. In fact, 75% of the workforce by 2025 will be occupied by the millennial generation. As I said before, millennial generation is the generation who was born between 1980s and 2000. And they are marked by an increased use of technology and media. They are familiar with digital communications, and they also have a liberal approach to politics and economics. So because of that, many experts define the millennial generation as a new generation with new thoughts, beliefs, new mindset, and also the most important characteristic of this generation is that they value their work-life balance. That means that they value their work, but they also value their personal development. It's like half and half. It's like the same. It's important. Both things are important for them. So because of that, today I'm going to argue why companies should accommodate the millennials' needs because 3 main reasons. The first is because it will increase productivity, it can reduce costs, and it can decrease turnover. The first factor to consider is that changing the millennials' needs can increase productivity through flex time. Flex time is an alternative work method that allows employees to work from another location that is not the office, and they can use technological tools to complete their work. So flex time match perfect with the millennials' needs because, as I mentioned before, they value work-life balance. Opponents may argue that flex time has a lot of disadvantages because they think not all the employees are honest and they can take a work from home day to, they can take the work from home time to a personal day. And because of that, it can quickly cut on the bottom line of a company and it can decrease productivity. However, a study from Solanke 2013 demonstrates that employees' inefficiency is because other concerns that are not related with work. This means that, and also he found that there was a positive correlation between flex time, job satisfaction, and productivity. If you allow to your employees to work from home, they can have time to attend personal duties and they can also complete their work assignments at the same time. So when they are doing their work assignments, they can focus complete 100% in the work assignment. So that's why flex time is important for the millennials. Now, having explored how changing the millennials' need could increase productivity, I would like to draw your attention to the second point, that is changing the millennials' need could also reduce cost, and I want to be specified in marketing department. As I mentioned before, the millennial generation are technological skilled. They know how to use social media and all these technological devices. And considering that 81% of the USA population have a social media portal, and if you are a small company and you hire a millennial, they already know how to use all of these technological applications. If you're a restaurant or a hotel, they know how to add you to Booking, Yelp, or TripAdvisor. That these tools are the same that the 81% of the population is using. So if you sum the technological savvy approach of the millennial plus the technological tools, you can reach cheaper and faster your target market. And I say cheaper because advertising with social media, it's really cheap. For a small company, if you pay for advertising in Facebook, it can cost you around $60 for a week, and I think it's cheap, and you can reach a lot of people. Opponents may claim that when millennials are using social media and mobile devices, it's equal to messing around, or it's just a distraction. They think when millennials are using social media, they're wasting their time. While it may be true, sometimes mobile devices and social media can be a distraction, but in fact, an effective use of social media an effective use of social media has a lot of benefits. As this quote states, while people is investing a lot of money in a Super Bowl Sunday advertising, they can do the same with an effective presence on Facebook. They can increase the traffic to their stores, website, and blog for less. So an effective use of social media can reduce advertising costs. It can also reach target customers, and you can increase and retain the customers you already have. Now let's move to our last point. Now that we analyze how changing the millennials' needs can also reduce costs, I want to share with you how changing the millennials' needs also can decrease turnover. As I mentioned before, millennials have a different mindset, and they are attracted to companies that share that match with their lifestyle and mindset. So millennials are looking to make a difference. They want to impact the world, feel proud of their job, and help others. So if companies have all of these characteristics, they can attract millennials. But if companies make millennials believe in their mission, they can retain this generation for a long time. However, there are some people that argue that you don't have to. It is important to mention that the 71% of millennials are likely to purchase from a company that supports a cause they care about, and the other 66% of millennials are more likely to seek employment for a company that also supports a cause they care about. And when I was searching about this, it comes to my mind do you know the Tom's brand, the brands of shoes? When I read this, I remember that I was buying Tom's because of what the company was doing for others. For those who don't know the brand, if you purchase a pair of shoes, they will give another pair of shoes someone who need it. So many of my friends and my classmates were buying Toms too because of this reason. So I think it's really important to companies to know that millennials are very attracted to these characteristics. However, some people argue that a high salary can retain employees. So if you gave your employee a high salary, you can retain them. And they also said that salary, it's like recognize your employees' work. You don't have to do nothing more. Just pay them and they will stay in your company. And this must be true because many people like they prioritize the salary when you're looking for a job because you have basic needs to cover. So salary is important. But I still think that you can retain employees, but you can't make them happy and enticed to your company because, as I mentioned before, millennials' identity, like job, form part of millennials' identity. So they need to feel that they are working for a company that cares about others and their work is meaningful and worthwhile. So their desire is to work for a company that have all those characteristics I mentioned before. In our time today, we have explored how if companies change their millennials' needs, could increase productivity, can also reduce its cost, and can decrease turnover. If a company wants to be dynamic and rapidly respond to their customer needs, they must meet their employees' needs. And today I focus on millennial generation because this is a generation that in a few years they will be the majority. But I think there will be another generations that need to be studied and needs to be companies needs to meet their necessities to rapidly respond to customers' needs. And that concludes my presentation, so feel free to ask any questions. Yes.
Hi, Loretta. Thank
Hi.
you for your presentation. I had a question with regards to specific data that you may have found in your research to show that the millennials' needs are not being met. So, do you have any data to show that millennials' needs are not being met as you research your topic?
Are not being met?
Yeah, you said that your argument is that millennials companies should accommodate the needs from millennials, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any specific data or statistics to show that that's not the case? That their needs are not being met?
Oh, I don't have any specific data for that, but because I have specific data for the rates of turnover of millennial generation,
Okay.
and that's what like dragged my attention.
Mm-hmm.
It's because what are companies doing that millennials don't feel comfortable working for them? I have like that data, and I think it's more than 50% of millennials are likely to switch jobs once in a year.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
It's a question. You mentioned this idea of flex time,
Yeah.
and the idea that employees can possibly work at home and that you should be supportive of that. Well, as an employer, how are there challenges to meeting the employees' needs, and for you specifically, if you were trying to support that, what would that look like? And how do you keep a flex timer accountable?
Okay, first I think flex time is a really good tool for some companies because not all companies can do flex time because of their because of what they do. I think like a bank can't do flex time because the employees need to be physically in the place to develop all the work. But I think if I were hiring people and I own a company, if my company allowed me to give employees flex time, I will give them like I don't know once a week. Because with that, you don't have to give like a lot of flex time, just something meaningful that they can take care about their personal duties and also attend their job. I think it's like a balance. Yeah.
Maybe we could just give them a salary and they don't have to work at all. You think millennials would like that more?